What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I got two of the most realistic sounding deer calls that you can ever get your hands on. So right here I have the Hattybo grunt call, and I also have the Hattybo bleat call. Now both of these calls right here are in weathered oak. There's a couple different woods and stuff that you can choose from that he makes and stuff, but this guy, he only has Facebook. Okay, so there is one website, which I will link the website down in the description of where you can pick these up. But I'm gonna tell you what, guys, these things go extremely fast. I've been waiting right at 2, maybe 3 years to actually get my hands on one, and I'm super excited that I finally did. These calls right here are not cheap, guys. So this right here was about $110. So yeah, it's pretty pricey. And this one right here, the Hattybo, was roughly about 80 bucks. So these are not cheap calls whatsoever. So what I did was I just messaged a guy. We started talking about, what I wanted and stuff. And he told me about the website and everything, and pretty much first come, first serve. A couple weeks later, I just happened to go onto the website and there was a couple available. So I ended up scooping me up some. And I gotta tell you guys, this is by far the best sounding grunt call that I've ever had. Now this thing is fully adjustable, so is the Hattybo. But with this, I am not going to go through all the soundboards. I think this sounds perfect the way it is. I'm gonna go ahead and run it. And a little later into the video, I'm actually going to take you back into the woods. We're going to go a good little distance and kind of represent a buck walking through the woods. Same thing with the Hattybo. But if you've ever heard a real deer grunt in the woods, which I know a lot of us bow hunters have, this thing sounds identical to a real buck. So check this out. Oh man, this thing sounds incredible. Now with the Hattybo, I will go ahead and show you the different functions. Pretty much with this, you have your adult buck, your young buck, and it goes right into the fawn bleats and the doe grunts and stuff. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate with you with this one. All right, so let me go ahead and demonstrate the Hattybo. I mean, that sounds absolutely amazing. So these things are pre-marked right there. Don't know how well you can see that, but I like it right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it down just a little bit. I'll let you hear that. Kind of like a doe grunt. It sounds pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. I am going to go ahead and move it back down to where I like it. Right there at that nice young doe bleat. Right there. All right, guys, so now that I gave you a little rundown on what both of these calls sound like, let's take them to the woods. Let's move back a little ways, and let me show you what it would sound like a buck walking through the woods. I think you're going to like it. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk about 15, 20 yards back here, and I'm just going to walk in different directions using the Hattybo grunt call. Now, something I forgot to mention, he does make a couple different versions. This is the original, okay? He also makes a shorty, and I think there's one other size, but mainly the two sizes that he really focuses on is the original size and then the shorty, which the shorty has a little bit of a tone difference, but I think this right here, the original, is the best sounding one out of all of them. So let's go ahead and move back a little and run this thing. What an awesome sounding call, man. I'll tell you what. I've ran a lot of calls throughout the years, okay? This is by far the most realistic, best sounding call I've ever owned. Awesome stuff. Now, I want to give you a close-up on this. Like I said, these are both in weathered oak. Now, I did buy these separately, but sometimes on his Facebook page, he will run like deals. Take a look at that. Look how beautiful those calls are. It does come with the lanyard. Look at that. I like that nice camo color. Pretty freaking cool. Awesome stuff right here. All right, so now that I showed you the Hattybo Grunt, let's go ahead and back up a little ways and let's run this Hattybo. All right, so I'm going to adjust it a little bit. I'm going to bring the reed down just a little bit to get that mature doe bleat / grunt, if you will, that we heard earlier in the video. And I'm just going to walk through a couple times and run that. So this is what it's going to sound like. Go ahead and run it. All right, what I want to do is I'm going to move this up a little bit and I'm going to go to the fawn. I tell you what an amazing sounding call right here. I'm telling you guys what, I'm definitely going to leave the link to the website down below, but I'm telling you guys, he doesn't do like a lot of advertising on these calls anymore, so you kind of want to just check back maybe a couple times a week depending on how bad you want one. Check on the website, and if they're available, I highly recommend you picking them up, guys, because like I said, they go so fast. It is crazy how fast they go, and I think he only makes like small batches of these at a time. All right, we're back to where I want to. Now, I told you guys earlier in the video, and if you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you so much. I am going to go ahead and demonstrate the Hattybo in the different settings, considering this thing is fully adjustable. So what I did was I went ahead and I marked it myself where I like it. These things are pre-marked right there. I think he had to change the way he actually did it because he actually made indentions and stuff where you could slide this little O-ring into the little slots. But he actually announced that earlier this year. So let's go ahead and run through a couple of these settings. Now, like I said, I got it where I like it. We'll move it up a little bit. That sounds really good too. I guess that would be more of your mature buck. young buck. Like I said, guys, if you've ever actually heard a deer grunt in the woods, sounds identical. It's amazing. Move it up a little more. Sounds more of your doe grunt right there. That's pretty cool. So there's your doe bleat right there. And like I said, it is a bit different than the actual Hattybo. A little deeper of a tone. So there's your fawn. See if we can get it in between that. And even if you want to use this as your doe bleat, you know, if you really want to sit there and switch them out and stuff or anything, this still sounds absolutely incredible as a doe bleat or the fawn bleat. But I love the buck grunt, man. So like I said, this is your all-in-one right here. It's an excellent call. I definitely recommend you checking them out, having one in your bag. Like I said, I've been trying to get my hands on one for a couple of years now. I finally was able to do so. There's your mature buck right there. And that's where I like it right there. Absolutely incredible deer calls right there. Your Hattybo grunt and your Hattybo bleat. Awesome calls right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any of the Hattybo calls and what do you think about them, because I absolutely love mine and I'm super excited to be using them for this upcoming bow season. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out all my social media platforms. The links are down below in the description. Make sure you're checking out my paranormal channel at Mikey's Huntings if you're into ghost hunting and all that cool stuff. The link is also down in the description. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for now. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.